Hi, if you're in the market for a warming drawer, you're not really sure which one to go for, I've just come up with a handful of things to consider before purchasing one. Now some of you might be asking, what is a warming drawer and what does it do? Well, essentially it's a drawer that warms things inside. But what can it be used for? Now I suppose for most people, a warming drawer would be used to warm up things like your plates or dishes before you're going to serve a meal, because there's nothing worse than dishing up a meal onto cold plates, because your food will get colder a lot quicker. If you can warm up your plates and dishes, then chances are your food will stay hotter for longer, which is always a bonus, especially if you're a slow eater. Warming drawers are not just used for heating up plates and dishes, there are quite a few other applications as well. First of all, you could use it for proving bread. So some people like to use that area because it's quite a low temperature, but you could use a warming drawer to prove some bread. People also use them for slow cooking because the temperature range is around the same as what a slow cooker would cook at. Now, when it comes to looking at buying one of the main things I'd recommend looking at is the height of it. Now, I know in quite a few of my other videos, things like dimensions of a product are quite a way down the list, and essentially they are, but when it comes to this one, the height of it is actually really important. What you need to decide is whereabouts in the kitchen it's going to go. Quite a few people have a single oven on, for example, one side, and then next to it you have a combination microwave sat above it and you have a warming drawer underneath. If that's the case, most of the time people will go for a 14cm model like this, and that way if you get the combination microwave sat above it at around 45cm and then this sat below it at around 14cm, then that will be about the same height as a single oven placed next to it, so it looks really nice. You can also get taller ones, so you can get 29cm models as well, and clearly there are going to be other models from other manufacturers, but within our industry they tend to be 14cm high models and 29cm models as well. I'll just show you inside the 14cm model, and as you can see, if you just wanted to use it for warming plates and dishes, then that kind of thing would be okay. If you were going to use it for things like proving bread, or if you wanted to cook more inside it, then honestly that really isn't going to work. So if you were going to use it for more of a cooking item, then personally I'd recommend looking at the 29cm high model. Next thing to have a look at is the capacity on the warming drawer. Now you tend to find, obviously on a 14cm high model, the capacity will be smaller than on a 29cm model. That's kind of obvious. But once you've decided on a height, for example 14cm, then have a look at the capacity between different models and different manufacturers, because you will find that they will vary a little bit. Not a huge amount, because there's only a certain size that these can be, but on the whole they tend to start normally at around 15 litres, and then they go up to 25 litres and above. There are some quite tall warming drawers available from some manufacturers where clearly the capacity is going to be a lot bigger, and the main advantage of having a larger capacity is you can get more in it, obviously. Next thing to consider is the temperature range and the controls that they offer. On this model, this Neff one, which we actually sell quite a few of, this just has a basic control, so it's just off, and then you've got minimum, medium and maximum setting, so you don't really know what temperature it's going to operate at. Clearly with the instructions it will give you a bit more guidance. If you just wanted to warm some plates up, for example, then this idea is fine. You just pop the plates in, pop it onto say medium, and then shut the door and away you go, and it'll warm everything up. If you wanted to use it for example proving bread or for things like slow cooking, then you need to know a more accurate temperature, and there are some models on the market where you can actually set the temperature that you want it to operate at. On the whole, warming drawers tend to operate between 30 and 80 degrees centigrade, and obviously if you want to select a certain temperature, you need a more accurate display and mechanism to set that temperature, and clearly on this kind of model you couldn't do that. But if you need to know a temperature, then have a look for a model, because there are certain models in the range, and have a look on our website because there are quite a few models that operate like this. Then what you can do is you can actually set the temperature that you want it to work at. One of the final things to consider is, has it got some kind of Wi-Fi or internet connection? Now I know some people are not too enamoured by having an internet or Wi-Fi connection on an appliance like this, but it can be really good. Sometimes it just enables you to set the temperature, or if you've, for example, set something to cook over a long period of time, then through an app it can tell you how it's doing or when it's finished. Or if you, for example, if you're slow cooking something and if you're going to be late home, you can actually switch it off from the app. Now, one of the final things to mention is the colour of the warming drawer. Now that's kind of obvious, but for some people it tends to be something they do forget, because sometimes the colours can be quite close, especially in some of the Neff and Bosch ranges like this. But really what you want it to do is you want it to match with other appliances that you've got around it. So if you are thinking of purchasing a warming drawer, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. Hope you found it useful, a quick guide to purchasing a warming drawer. I know there are quite a few other things that I could have talked about, but they tend to be the main things that people are looking at when looking at purchasing a warming drawer. Would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up, click subscribe, leave any comments below. If you've got any questions on warming drawers, then just pop it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Also, if you have got a warming drawer at home, then what do you use it for? Do you use it just for heating your plates up before you're going to eat a meal? Or do you use it more for cooking or proving bread? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be really interested to hear. Thanks for joining me today.